video games and employment. So, according to Trading Economics, the source for financial data and economic statistics all over the world, there are about 6.2 million people unemployed today in our world. And while that number is at the lowest it's ever been in the United States today, it is still a very high number. And at the same time, while that is happening, video games are also becoming very, very popular. And as you can see in this picture here, the spending on video games in 2017 was $29 million, which is a really high number for this. And also, according to the ESA website that is on video game statistics, 83% of all gamers today play multiplayer games, and they play most games online, and it says about 6 hours they spend playing online with friends, and they spend about 5 hours offline with their friends. And while it's not necessarily a bad thing that they're spending more time online with friends than offline, it can affect other areas such as school and jobs, which is what I'm going to be talking about today. So, if they're spending so much time on video games, is it a waste of time? Well, according to Jane McGonigal from the TED Talk and the stimulus materials, video games can solve issues such as poverty, hunger, and many, many more. She even goes as far as to describe gamers as super empowered, hopeful individuals. And if video games can really solve all these issues, can they also solve employment? Which that is my research question, and that's what I gave my inspiration. So, video game effects on the brains. According to the peer-reviewed article by Kaveh Masfedi, video games can increase your overall school competence by 1.88 times, which can be very beneficial. And it can also increase the odds of intellectual functioning by 1.75 times. And while this doesn't look like it would be too important, the better you do in school, the higher chance of getting a good job you will have. And in this picture, we can see some specific games, and they tell you what specific part of the brain it affects and how it makes it give benefits. So another way you can also get a job is maybe through video game programming. According to Rob Kohut, who is a graduate from DigiPen University, which is the University of Nintendo, he had 4 potential job offers from major video game companies all before graduation, and this was only on a 2-year program. So this is, I think, very convincing evidence that video games might actually be a good thing to study, because they can get you a BS in video game programming. And if that's not convincing enough, I think that this will be more, according to Chris Graff from Gematria, which is a website on, like a blog on video games, and he is the editor here there. Video game salaries for developers can go up to $83,000, and that's just the average. And according to Alison Doyle, who is a very respected statistics woman, the average salary for people who don't study video games is only about $44,000, which, while it's not really low, it's almost half as many as it would be if you studied a video game. And another way that video games can be beneficial is from playing them as a job. First of all, streaming is becoming very popular, such as Twitch, which is a very popular streaming website. And in that, you can make about $5,000 from 2,000 subscribers alone, since each subscription is about $5, and you get about half the revenue. And that's not all. You can also get more money from monetizing your stream with ads, or you can also be sponsored. There's a lot of many other potential ways you can make money from that. And if you're one of the best gamers out there, you can even join a professional team. Some professional teams make about $1,000, $2,000 for average salary per month per player. And while that's not too high, it's still a really high number. And more importantly, the tournaments are what makes gaming very good for a job. According to JKPC, which is a website on video game statistics, which works with a lot of universities. Video game tournaments can go from $100,000 to maybe $200,000 for the top prize pools in the United States. And even in 2017, a Dota 2 tournament, which is a game, had a prize pool of about $25 million. And while that's split among the whole team, it's still a really high amount. So with that, I came up with a solution that we should make video game clubs for high schools. Since this is not a very difficult thing to do, since any video game can be implemented into a club, and it can also be started by a student or helped by a teacher as well. And some of the implications that I found, because according to a Wired article by Emily White, playing video games can help you get a scholarship into college and maybe even get you up to half off of your whole tuition. Again, it can increase school performances, and it can also close in your peer relationships, since it is like a very competitive game and you work together to do better. Some limitations that it can have is that it can be distracting. It might take you away from other school activities, and it can take time away. And some people may only be trying to play video games, so they're not going to focus on other school activities. So with that, I'm concluding that video games are very important to our society today, and they can be very beneficial. With video games, you can increase employment, and it can increase a lot of other things that will benefit employment.
Terrific, thanks, Brian. Let's see, as an opening question, was there any information that you felt like you needed that you had a hard time finding that you think might have helped your argument?
So I think the conclusion or the solution was more something I really struggled to find. I wanted to find a specific scientist who had a perspective on a specific way to implement video games into school, so that way they can, at a younger age, kids could learn more and become better, and therefore in the future they can keep going on that path.
Okay. And then as a follow-up, did any of your author's conclusions help to guide your research? That is, you started off looking at one aspect of the problem, and did reading something or coming across one of the perspectives change how you focused the remainder of the project? And if so, what was it?
I can't really think of any specific articles that really influenced me. I had a really set on what I wanted my book to look like, and I found a lot of information that really backed up how I wanted my presentation to go in my paper. And so
maybe then, what was the piece of evidence that supported it most strongly?
I think the strongest was the stimulus package, the Jane McGonigal, how she said it can solve a lot of many issues. And employment was always been on my mind since the first thing we practiced. It was just
okay, terrific. Thanks.